Have you ever had this feeling that you read, watch, or listen to something in English and then you say, "Oh, I learned something new." But a few days, weeks, or even months later, you realize that you can't recall or use what you learned. Yes, I used to be like that, and I wasted so much time on studying English and then forgetting everything. But I never accepted this problem. I always tried to find a solution for this problem. In this video, based on some studies that I found, I'm gonna give you a solution to this problem. A way that made me to learn and memorize English words, idioms, and expressions so fast, and I'm gonna share all of the techniques in today's video. So stay tuned and watch this video. There are only two components of learning: understanding and memorizing. So, understanding plus memorizing equals learning forever and remembering that thing forever. These two components are very crucial for any language learners, and not all of the people know about them. And maybe some people know about these two components, but they don't know how to use them in a right way and how to get advantage of them. When people or my classmates hear me speaking English, they tell me, "Oh my God, your speaking is really well." That's just, I use these two components in a right way and they don't do it. First, let us start with understanding. What is understanding? Maybe you say that understanding is when you read something in English and a new word comes to you and you understand the meaning, or the meaning makes sense to you, it means understanding. But that's not true. Sometimes you see a word in a context or even in a movie, the meaning of that word makes sense to you. Whenever you want to use that, you say, "Oh, how should I use it?" Or "Where should I use it?" Or "What's the actual meaning?" How do we understand something? Understanding happens when we can explain something to someone else. Like whenever you're reading or studying English and you see a word, whenever you're ready to teach this word to another person, in this time you can say that I fully understood that word. The key question is here: can I teach it to someone else? Whenever you want to test your understanding of something new, you ask this question of yourself: can I teach it to someone else? Or I just know the meaning, or it just makes sense to me. For example, you see the word revenge in a context.
You're not talking about justice, you're talking about revenge.
And you think, "Oh, it makes sense to me at the moment." But if you want to know that you really understand the revenge, you need to ask yourself these 4 questions. Question number 1. What did I learn? I learned the word revenge. Okay? The second question. What is its actual meaning? What does it mean? It's kind of difficult to explain, but I know its meaning in the context. But let me look it up. So see, having the mindset that you're learning something new makes you to go deeper and search for the exact meaning of that word. So you need to be honest with yourself about learning a new word or a new, idiom. So you look it up and you understand that the meaning of revenge is to harm someone as a punishment. Perfect. Next question. Can I make my own sentences with this word? In this level, you're going to start to make your own sentences with a new word that you've just learned. Like, she revenged on her boyfriend because he cheated on her. This is my sentence. In this case, I'm not sure that my sentence was correct or not. So I have to look it up again and to see if there are any gaps of my knowledge. Maybe there is something that I'm not aware of. So I look it up again. So the correct sentence is, she took revenge on her boyfriend for cheating. So can you see the difference between two sentences that I made? First one was not totally correct, but the second one, I looked it up and I found some collocations. I went much deeper to the word revenge, and I found some collocations, expression with this word. Then I made my correct sentence. Last question is, how should I pronounce it? How should I pronounce it? Maybe you think it's revenge. It's revenge, okay? But then you look it up and you see that it's revenge. It's revenge, okay? So this is the best technique of understanding a new word or a new idiom. Whenever you face to something new, you should really go deep for that thing and learn it. And whenever you try to explain something that you think you were very good at it, you start to understand that there are some gaps that you didn't know about them. And now that you're explaining that thing or, that case, you are fully becoming aware of that. We're not done yet and we're halfway through. Let's go to the second component, which is memorizing. When you learn something new like an English word, fully understand that word. If you don't review that word, you're gonna forget them and you're not going to memorize that word in any case. This is really natural and it's called the forgetting curve. If you don't review something, over time you're going to forget that thing, like you never heard it. The other day, I just happened to look at my notebooks that I used to take when I was learning English. So I came to the word umbilical cord. I saw that I highlighted the word before, but now that I was looking at the word, I didn't understand what it meant. So at that time, when I was learning that word, I knew that this word was really hard for me, so I highlighted the word, but I failed to remember this word after, some years. Why is that happening? Because I failed to interrupt the forgetting curve. I failed and forgot to interrupt the forgetting curve. To interrupt the forgetting curve, we need a spaced repetition. What does it mean? Let me explain. Spaced repetition means to repeatedly review what you just learned and new information. So try to spread it out across multiple sessions. Basically, 5 to 6 is enough. The first repetition should be right after learning it, and the second repetition should be to repeat the material after 4 or 5 hours. Third repetition should be only after 1 day. The next one is after 1 or 2 weeks, and the final one is after a month. This way, you can memorize that thing or that new word for a long period, for a long time. So what just happens is basically after 5 or 6 sessions of repeating something, your brain is like, it seems to be really important information. So let me just store it in the long-term memory. So in this case, you're gonna learn and remember that word or that thing for a longer period, and it goes to your long-term memory. Something else that I do recommend for you to review what you just learned is to watch movies. If you don't want to, study English all the time, you can choose this one way to review what you just learned. Because the characters in the movies actually use dozens of new words and expressions and idioms, and you can easily learn them and even review what you already know. So this is a fun way to review and learn new things. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please push the button and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to share and like this video. Bye bye for now.